Good morning. That's so annoying. When I say good morning, it's annoying. Good morning. That sounded better. We're going to wait for people to get here. If you're catching the replay, thanks for joining me. Good morning, guys. Mary, the damp weather makes me hurt too. My gosh. You know, like when I was young and I would hear my grandmother say that like when it rained, she hurt. I was thinking in my head when I was young that like she was just making that up. But now that I'm like older, I'm like, oh, I get you, Meemaw. I called her Meemaw. But I'm like, oh, I get you now. I wish you were here for me to tell you. But I heard all over. Yeah, I used to laugh about it, but now I get, hey, Julie Pappin. Good morning, everyone. We're going to wait a few minutes. It's 1 till 7, but I know I don't like to get started till a little at 7 or at 7 or a little after. I read this post about it's okay to be silent. You know how like when you're around people, you feel like you always have to talk. And I find that when I'm on like here live, I feel like I have to constantly talk. And like I'm like, okay, I need to like sit in silence for a minute and let other people talk. Because it's always me running my mouth. So I need to read these comments. Hey, while y'all are joining, I'm going to look at something real quick so I can converse with y'all about it. So y'all just bear with me for just a second. I'm not being rude. I guess I am being rude, but I don't mean to be rude. Oh, shoot. I can't even hold my darn phone. Hang on. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Y'all converse. Okay, let's see. Bear with me just a minute. I got to write these numbers down so I can tell y'all. I can tell y'all what we've done. We're a train wreck. Okay, hang on. I got to write them all down. Y'all are going to die. Y'all are 5. Okay, hang on. Okay, now let me get my calculator. Okay, let's get started. Grab your protein. Okay, so I went in there to get me a Coke Zero and I forgot to put them in the refrigerator, so they're not really that cold. So then I went to the refrigerator to get ice and my dadgum ice maker's not working. So I'm I was like so mad this morning. I was like, gosh, I can't even have a cold drink. And then it's freezing cold in my house. It's freezing cold in my house. I do have a heater kind of going in Larry's room, but it's like 60 degrees in here because we don't have any heat. Okay. So I have been really explaining to y'all how y'all help me like pay for my feed, and today I have a big huge vet bill, and I've really tried hard to explain to y'all how social media works so that you understand how valuable you are to my channel. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna get ready and take my glasses off. A lot of times, it's hard to understand how people get paid on social media and so forth. And I tell you this, it is not to brag. I'm not bragging. It's to show you how important you are to my farm, and how that when you're sitting at home and you wish that you could support my farm, you can. And that doesn't mean you have to stroke me a check. So it's important for me for you guys to understand that, because I just don't think if you're not a creator, you don't quite get it. And so and I've said this on my last couple of lives, I really feel like that God is allowing these for my videos to go viral for y'all and for me, because a lot of times when stuff goes viral, that means the crazies are coming, right? Like we're used to our little group, and people on here are friendly because we know each other, and we're like good morning, and then all of a sudden when a video goes viral, they have no idea who we are, and we look like crazy people. When there's a girl that has a farm that's getting her makeup on in the morning, I look like some psycho. And just for just a minute, stop, pause, and just think for a second. If you don't know who I am, and all of a sudden this girl that wears this shirt that says City Girl Done Gone Country, and I'm putting on my makeup, but I have a farm, like I do look like a psycho. You know what I'm saying? So like we have to be gentle to those people that don't know us, because when we start attacking people like they're attacking me, like you guys want to go for the attack, but we have to remember in our head to pause and go, this poor person is a psycho. She doesn't know who we are. And so I really feel like this is happening not just for you to learn about social media, but for me to learn, because I am quick. I tell you to pause, but that don't mean I always do it. I'm a human being. I'll fire off in a second. I got red hair, right? Comes with a temper. And it's a learning lesson for everyone involved. It's a learning lesson for us to go, you know what? There are some ugly people out here in this world, but that doesn't mean that I have to be ugly. And when people attack your Aunt Judy, I hope that you realize when they do, you just say, go, Judy, go, Judy, go. Because that means that they're running up my numbers. That's how social media works. So are y'all ready to hear the final number? There is a couple of videos that are going viral, and every single video is Dee Dee. Every single one of them. This is what's so frustrating as a creator, because life on a farm is not babies and delivery and everything's roses. But people on social media, they don't want to be sad. They don't want to hear about death. They don't want to hear about doing farm chores. They want to see the good things. They want to see people come to social media and YouTube because they want to watch something that makes them happy, and something that's cute, and something that's frilly. But see, life doesn't work like that on a farm. So when you follow a farm and you follow a creator, what happens is when she had babies, my numbers skyrocketed. When Dee Dee's pregnant and fixing to have a baby, my numbers are skyrocketing. But when life is boring on the farm, per se, my numbers go. And then I start feeling discouraged because I'm like, is it something I've done? Like, what the heck? Why is nobody watching my videos? But people that sit and watch TV, they don't want to cry. They don't want to see a dead animal. They don't want to see all that. They want to see babies and action and oh my gosh, they take care of their animals and all these good things. But for a creator, it doesn't work like that in a farm. And sometimes it's really, really hard on us as creators because we can't always bring you that content that's going to make you smile. Okay, so a couple of videos have gone not quite viral, but it's rocketed my numbers. And to show you how important your comments are, and that when people are rude, we don't need to shut them down. We need them to keep commenting. So you need to keep talking to them. I have made $733.90 off people ripping me a new one. Did y'all hear me? Do I need to repeat that? $733.90 in 1 week off 3 videos. And that is from y'all commenting, y'all sharing my post, because what happens is I think there's like 53 shares right now. So you got to think about, if 53 people share my post, then people, all their friends are seeing the post, and then they share, and then their friends are seeing the post, and it just keeps going and going and going. The last time my video went viral, it was my turkeys breeding, and it went viral in other countries. But right now, Dee Dee's videos are going viral here in the United States. I'm almost at 36,000. Now the videos are going viral on Facebook. YouTube, things go viral usually like in a reel. That's usually, or short. I'm sorry, a short. That things will go viral in a short, and that'll run your numbers up. But on Facebook, it's videos. They go viral. A picture does not go viral. I make sense on a picture. Like, I'll give you an example. I just want y'all to understand, especially if you're a creator. I just want you to understand how it works. Hang on, let me find where it's at. Do you know this one right here? Oh shoot, I can't. You know the picture of this is on Facebook. The picture of my frizzle hen that I asked y'all to name her. There was a gazillion comments, and I made $3.34. So see how, the comments matter, but it doesn't go viral. Things that go viral are videos. That's what goes viral. And that's because they put ads in my videos, and that's what runs my numbers up. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, so you understand, I've never made this much money off a video. Okay. I'm a small channel. So I've never made that much money off 3 videos in a week. So just know that. So it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't mean that your Aunt Judy's a rock star all the time. Videos don't go viral all the time. So anyway, I want to say thank you for commenting and sharing and liking. And it goes for YouTube too. Creators get paid by you watching the ads. And it's such a pain, isn't it? Like when you're all into the show and then all of a sudden this stupid ad comes about paper towels. But can I tell you that paper towel commercial on YouTube? You know what I'm talking about? The Bounty one that goes, uno, dos, tres, I want the. You know what I'm talking about? Do y'all know the commercial on YouTube that I'm talking about? I swear I love that commercial. I will watch that whole entire commercial. You know, it's like the Bounty paper towels are dancing, and it goes, I want you, da na 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 na. Uno, dos, tres. You know what I'm talking about? I love that commercial. I will watch that commercial. But then some commercials you're like, really? Do I have to sit through this? Skip. But so that's how on YouTube that you help creators is when you're at Walmart, I don't know, and you tell someone about your Aunt Judy, or, you know, you're sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner table and people look at you like you got four horns on your head when you're talking about like the life of a creator. And they're like, Mom, who is Aunt Judy? We do not have an Aunt Judy in our family. Like those things are important because then what happens is when you look crazy, when you look absolutely like a psycho because you're talking about Aunt Judy at the Thanksgiving table, then they're like, it makes your family go look and go, who is Mom following? What is she doing? What is she doing? It makes them look. You know what I'm saying? So just know that you guys have helped me so much. The vet is coming today, and I feel like that paid my vet bill for Dee Dee. So I had to hear a lot of backlash. I got a lot of, rip me a new one. But you guys made them talk. You guys asked them questions like you pretended like you didn't know anything about a cow. And you were like, really? What's going to happen? So she shouldn't call the vet? You know what I'm saying? Like it creates a conversation. And when you get in conversations with those people and they're know-it-alls and they're farm people and they're know-it-alls and they're going to tell you, they're going to go into detail telling you like how Dee Dee's going to have the baby and all this stuff. So like you got in conversations with them. So it's you that helped me get to $733.90. It wasn't anything that I did. It was what you did. So you helped me pay my vet bill today. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because you guys mean the world to me. And I can't do it without you. I can't do social media alone. It doesn't work that way. It is a team effort. And you guys are what's helping grow my page. And I keep, if you don't know, I haven't really talked a lot about this, but I have lately, is I dreamt of getting out of a mud pit and moving to 50 acres. I don't know where 50 came from, but in my brain, I'm like, if I could just have 50 acres on flat land, I could totally rock that tractor. My animals would have grass. I could rotate pastures, and I have a goal. I feel like sometimes I'm too old to have a goal like that because the last thing you want to do is go in debt at the age of 53. But I have a goal, and you guys are helping my animals get to that goal. When you are doing all that you're doing, you're helping me go, Judy, go, Judy, go, Judy. Like you're helping me get there. And I just dreamt of not struggling to try to figure out how to make ends meet every month. I mean, I will kill myself. I'll always kill myself working. I will hope to never let you down. But I have big goals. I do. And maybe God may never bless me with that. And if he doesn't, I'm okay with that because I love my property. My property is absolutely gorgeous. The creek is to die for. But I would love for one day to move these animals to a pasture. It bothers me that my animals do not have grass. So when people talk about it, it's a kick in the gut to me. It hurts my feelings because there's nobody that wants these animals to have a pasture more than me. I promise you that. But it might happen. It might not. It's not that my animals are not taken care of because look at all of them. Look at Dexter and Dee Dee. They're fat as crap. Like my animals eat the top grain and they have hay all the time. So it's not that if I don't ever get my 50 acres, it doesn't hurt to dream. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to dream. And I hope one day that my page just keeps growing and growing and growing for these animals. Not for me. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm working for my animals to get rich. That's what I desire. I'm a nonprofit. So all the money goes back into my farm, and it goes to these animals, and it goes to people that need my farm. And I hope to keep growing and growing, and you are helping me do that. So thank you. Okay. Today is going to be crazy. First of all, yesterday I had a birthday party, and y'all, it was so much fun because they allowed me to be a part of the birthday party. So I was sliding down the slide. I was sliding down the slide. I was having a absolute ball. And it was a big birthday party. And what was crazy is I told you guys it was my gynecologist. It was her son. I told y'all that. And I'm sitting there, then I realized my medical doctor's there too. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like all my doctors are here on my farm. It just felt kind of crazy. But it was so comforting. I just enjoyed it. And the kids had an absolute ball. And it was just a good time. It was a time that I needed. And to see these kids that don't get to see animals, like these kids had never seen farm animals. A lot of them had never seen a chicken in person. And so these kids being able to feed the chickens and just learn about the animals and see how they live. It was a good day yesterday. It was. So today, I do incubation projects with the schools. As a matter of fact, I have 8 incubation projects coming up in April. And so I go into the school system and I teach kids the life cycle of a chick. Well, it is important for me as a farm. First of all, do I have to do this? No, it is not required for me to get certified and be a hatchery. I do not have to have the agriculture department here to check my chickens for diseases. It is not a have to, but I desire to be as healthy as possible. And the last thing I want to do is spread diseases. So today, NPIP, it's National Poultry Improvement Plan. That's what NPIP stands for. So what they do is twice a year. I have been NPIP certified for really since day one. I got certified when I first started really getting big into chickens because it is against the law to ship fertile eggs across the state line. You will get fined for that. I guess I could go to jail for that. Can y'all see me in jail? Well, I shipped eggs this week. I don't ship very often, but y'all saw a video on YouTube. I shipped eggs to South Carolina. And when I ship, I have to send NPIP a message. I have to fill out this form in order to do it. Well, I always get approved. So I packaged the eggs up and shipped them, but I had sent my form for approval before I shipped the eggs, but they didn't send me the approval yet. So I went ahead and shipped them, and I got denied. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to jail? Oh my gosh, am I going to jail? I didn't realize my certification had expired, and it expired in March. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that I don't go to jail for this. So there's eggs in limbo right now. Okay. I shipped them on Tuesday. The girl has yet to get them. And I'm thinking in my head, this is not good. Like, this is not good. I could get fined hundreds of dollars or I could go to jail for it. And I'm like, okay, so I got to get NPIP out here to do my chickens. So y'all be praying for me. It would not be good if I went to jail for that. Anyway, hopefully she'll get the eggs today. But what happens when they come out? So they'll be here at 10 o'clock today. So I have to leave all my chickens inside the coop until she gets here because I literally have got to have every single chicken that is breeding and duck and turkey and peacock tested. So in order to get them tested, what she does, she comes out here and she draws blood from every single animal, poultry animal, not big animals. Every poultry animal, she draws blood from every single poultry animal that I have on my farm. Have y'all seen how many chickens I have? So this is going to take a minute, okay? Not only does she draw blood from every single chicken, she also has to stick this Q-tip down their throat to check. What they're checking for is avian influenza. And I will tell you what happens. It is terrible. If one of my chickens, one are my ducks, ducks carry avian influenza and don't die. Chickens carry avian influenza and they die like popcorn. Okay. So, like, I don't feel like any of my chickens have it. I don't feel like I have it. But if one of my poultry come back with avian influenza, she literally has to kill every single poultry animal on my farm and leave them dead in my farm for me to pick up. It is horrible. But you have to understand that avian influenza is huge. It spreads like wildfire. So that's why she has to kill every single animal on my farm, because it can shut down if one of my chickens come back with that, the whole Coleman poultry industry gets shut down and I go on national news. Okay. I mean, Wayne's Farm, Tyson cannot run. Like the whole Coleman County cannot run for, I think it's a month, once one bird gets avian influenza. How do you get that? How does it spread? This is why, do you know how I was really big into rescuing the ducks from Sportsman's Lake? Like, I had this burning desire to rescue, because what happens with what happens with ducks, they're so mistreated. It is awful. It is absolutely awful, because what happens is people get ducks. Ducks are messy. They have a wet poop. Cleaning up after a duck is a nightmare. You have to absolutely love ducks to have them. Well, what happens is, here comes Easter, okay? And Tractor Supply and everyone sells these ducks. Even feed stores sell. I go into the feed store and there's ducks everywhere, and I'm thinking, oh, my heart just goes when I walk into a feed store and there's ducks everywhere. Okay? Because what people do, my mother included, when I was a little girl, my mother bought us ducks for Easter. I vividly remember this. And then they were the cutest little ducks ever. And then what happened was they grew up. We live in the middle of the city. My mom had no business buying ducks, but she didn't know any better. She thought it was going to be cute to buy us ducks. Well, when they grew up, me and my brothers went to East Lake Park and we dumped the ducks off at East Lake Park. Okay, that's what people do. They go get ducks, not understanding that you can't dump them off at the park. You can. You can dump them off at the park, but those ducks are going to die. They're domesticated. Domesticated means domesticated means that these ducks they don't go hunt food. Okay? They're when a human being raises a duck and they're not a wild duck, now a mallard or a wild geese, they can hunt food. They're used to that. But a domesticated duck does not do that. A domesticated duck is depending on you to feed them. Or when you go dump them off at the local lake and they don't have shelter and they don't have food, it's a death sentence. So I was big about rescuing them because what would happen is the lake would have one that would have a foot injury or something like that. And they would call me and I would run out to the lake and I would rescue the duck. I would take it to the vet and I would take it back to my farm and nurse it back to health and then find it a home. I never returned the duck back to the lake. I would bring them home, nurse them back to health, then I would find a home for them. Well, when there's avian influenza running around, avian influenza comes from wild geese. They transport it from lake to lake. So then what happens is the wild geese come to Sportsman's Lake, let's just say, and then everybody thinks it's cute to go out there and feed the ducks, which I am huge about feeding the ducks. And there's nothing wrong with feeding the ducks. But when you have chickens at home and you go walk on the lake and you're feeding the ducks, which please feed the ducks. Just listen to me though. They feed the ducks and then they don't clean their shoes with Clorox or Lysol or some type of bacteria killing, fighting. And then they go home and they take avian influenza into their farm. And so then the animals, then you have it in your farm. And then it's a death sentence for your animals. It's hard, okay? It's hard when you're petting zoo too. So that's why they frowned upon me for going to rescue the ducks, and they told me that I couldn't do it anymore. Now, I ain't a dumb butt. I was cleaning my shoes. I'm not a total DA, okay? Okay? But it ended up being a hassle, and people were asking me to stop feeding the ducks, and because concession stand sells duck food, and so they asked me to stop feeding them, and I just realized that I thought I was doing my community good by rescuing the ducks and finding homes for them, taking them to the vet. I thought I was helping my community, but my community gave me a kickback, and I realized that I was trying to fix something that will never be fixed. People are going to continue to dump ducks because that's what people do. And ducks are going to continue to die. And there's literally nothing I can. And then NPIP is screaming at me for going to feed the ducks when I have all these chickens. And I realized that I need to stop because I was getting really, really angry because these ducks are mistreated. And it was robbing me of my happiness. And I realized that what was important to me wasn't important to other people in my community. And I was just making my community mad at me. So I had to back away. But to understand the importance of avian influenza, so when NPIP comes here, they test your birds. It is always a scary thing when they come here. Like, I feel sick. So like this morning, I have anxiety. I feel sick, but I know that my animals do not have it because they would be dropping dead, and they're not. So if my chickens started dropping dead, I would have to call. The right thing to do as a poultry owner is to take responsibility. So if your chickens are dropping dead like flies, it is good to call NPIP and get your birds tested. the thought of all your birds dying makes you sick inside. But you cannot spread diseases. So they come here to test not only for NPIP, but chickens are bad about spreading why am I going brain dead? Sexually transmitted diseases. So the last thing I want to do as a business owner, me going into the schools doing incubation projects, is to be spreading diseases. That's not good. Here I am going into schools. I have 8 incubation projects. The last thing I want to do is be spreading diseases in my community. So it's important for me. The reason I choose to get NPIP is because I want to do things the right way. If I'm going to have poultry, then I need to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to not spread diseases, to not shut my community down. Wouldn't that be terrible if a petting zoo shut the whole freaking Coleman County down? That wouldn't be good. So I pay money for them to come to test my birds and make sure that I'm not spreading diseases in the schools. And because a lot of times when I do incubation projects in the schools, sometimes the chickens come back to me. Like they just want to do the incubation project with the kids and then they give me the chicks back. But majority of the time, there's somebody in the school system that wants the chickens to raise. So they end up keeping them. So as a poultry owner, it's important for me to do the right thing. So today they're coming and I have to catch every flipping chicken. And this is the day that I'm like, why in the crap do you have this many chickens? Okay, Judy, this is ridiculous because NPIP people don't catch the chickens because they're drawing the blood. It's Judy that has to go. I'm like pouring sweat by the time they leave here. And I have never owned this many chickens. So when they get here, they're going to look at me and go, what happened to you? But so they're coming today. And my dad is not doing well. My dad is not doing well at all. And he's declining fast. I don't know. They started him on 2 new medications. One is a sleep medication and one is for anxiety. That son of a gun can't wake up. And when he stands up, he is, but he was like that before the medication, but it has gotten worse. So Kayla, I called Kayla. I was like, look, we're going to have to tag team Larry. And this may be something that we have to do forever. It's getting to be where he can't be left alone. So therefore, when Kayla gets here, she's going to come inside with Larry while I'm doing NPIP. Then she's going to go outside and clean because I had to clean my duck pond this week because it looks terrible. So Kayla and I are going to be swapping, going back and forth inside to the farm because it is right now, it is a full-time job. He didn't even know how to use the microwave this week, and he uses the microwave every single day. And I'm like, why doesn't he know how to use the microwave? Like, what the heck? And so we're going to have to tag team. And then my vet will be here at 1:00. And he will be, first of all, he's going to do an x-ray of Chirps. Chirps is the white duck I have done a YouTube video on. When I lift her up, this foot is limp. She is a jumbo pekin. I am choosing to have her x-rayed for my own education. She doesn't have much of a quality of life right now, but I need to understand, I've told you guys this before, but jumbo pecans are bred for food. They're not like this duck that's going to live forever. Like there's certain chickens that are meat chickens that only live for 8 weeks. There's certain ducks, jumbo pekin ducks, I have noticed as I've rescued them, they live maybe 4 years, but they start having a decline in life at about 3 years. So it's not quite like like a Cornish hen. They get really big and then they can have a heart attack after. You have to butcher them at about 8 weeks old. That's why I tell you that farming comes different ways. There's farmers that do nothing but raise cattle and chickens for meat, like Wayne's Farm or Tyson. That's how you get your chicken at Chick-fil-A. Believe it or not, it comes from a chicken. No, it's hard to think about, but people that get mad at farms for butchering chickens, you have to understand that if you eat chicken, it comes from a chicken and it comes from a farmer, okay? It doesn't come from Chick-fil-A. There is a process, and you need to really understand it is a farmer that raises the chickens and has them butchered for you to eat your Chick-fil-A. It is a process, and you have to understand that there is a farmer behind every bit of meat that you have. There is a farmer behind vegetables. There is someone that is busting their tail to raise their crops and sell them and so forth. So I need to do a shout out to the farmers that provide us the groceries that you buy, because it is a farmer. Anyway, so the vet is doing an x-ray of chirps. I am trying really hard to decide what to do about chirps. She is still eating. She is still drinking. When I put her in the pool, she swims, she jumps out. So for that reason, I don't want to put her to sleep, but she's declining. So today is going to be a hard day for me because it's a day that I've got to decide what to do about chirps. So we're going to do an x-ray to kind of figure out why that foot is going limp. Penny Lane did not have hip joints. Penny Lane used to walk. She's always had a funny walk, and so has Chirps. It's because these ducks get massive because they're bred for food. They get massive. There is a difference than me going to raise a Polish chicken to put in my crock pot. Polish chickens are not a meaty bird. They're not a bird that you kill to put in your crock pot. Hang on just a minute. Hello?
Hey, Miss Steve, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Hey, I was going to let you know I'm on my way to your place. I'll be there around 9 o'clock
Okay.
just to check the drawing progress.
Okay, that'll be good. I'll see you at 9 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. Did I tell you that also today, the people that are dealing with my flood will be here at 9 o'clock this morning? So Judy will be juggling her time today. But anyway, a Polish chicken is not a chicken that you put in the crock pot. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to educate people at the birthday party yesterday because they were like, do you eat these chickens? I'm like, do they look like chickens? Do they look like they're meaty chickens? I know these are pets, but anyway, so the vet will be doing an x-ray of Chirps so I can make some hard decisions. And it's just hard. It's hard to put an animal down. If you've had a dog or a cat, you know, putting a duck down, a lot of people just, let me just say this. A real farm person would not take the duck to the vet to have it put to sleep. They would literally do it themselves. And I am a city girl that's done gone country, But when you're a city girl, I'm not offended when people call me a city girl. I'm not offended at all. But I'm not chopping Chirp's head off. I'm not doing it, and Shane's not doing it. I would rather take her to the vet and put gas on her and put her to sleep that way and me do a proper burial. That's me personally. These are pets. A lot of people that are farmers, they don't have that connection to the animals, so it's no big deal for them to just chop their heads off. Now listen, that sounds really inhumane. It does, and I will tell you that if NPIP comes out here today, and I have avian influenza, they're chopping every chicken, duck, turkey's heads off. They're chopping them off. That is something a farmer does. And the people that were cutting me down in the video that helped me pay my vet bill, that's what she's talking about. Like, she's saying that I'm a city girl because I'm taking Chirps to the vet to have her put to sleep. A farm person that has raised cattle, they have no problem with shooting a cow that's sick and just throwing it at the back of my neighbors behind me. When their cattle get sick or their cattle die, they don't bury them. They throw them at the back of our property or their property. And then the coyotes bring them to my property, and I find bones all over my property. And then I use those bones for science with the kids. A farm person that has been in the farm their whole entire life, that does not affect them. It does not. That's why they call me a city girl, because if Dexter or Dee Dee got sick and I had to put them down, I'm not shooting them. I'm not doing it. So you can call me a city girl all day long and it does not bother me. But you got to understand there's all different types of farmers, right? There's farmers that have a cattle farm and they've been in that cattle business their whole life. Like grandfather had a cattle farm, daddy had a cattle farm, and then he inherited a cattle farm. And they've watched cattle be killed when they get a disease or whatever because they don't want it spread. So it's not a big deal to them to kill a cow. I'm a different type of farmer. Am I considered still a farmer? Yes, I am a farmer. I have animals. I have a farm. I have to go out there every single day, snowstorm, tornado, and feed animals. I am a farmer, but I'm a different type of farmer. I'm a petting zoo. Petting zoos, we get attached to our animals. We train our animals. Our animals have names. Our animals eat out of our hands. There's a big difference. But does that mean that I'm not a farmer? No. It's just that people that have had farms their whole life and they don't call vets, they do it themselves. When they need their bulls castrated because they're breeding them, no, they're raising them for meat, they're not calling in a vet to castrate them. They're not doing it. They're doing it themselves because daddy and granddaddy and great granddaddy did it themselves. Okay. It's not a big deal to them. For a farmer that is a petting zoo, we are different. And that doesn't mean that I'm not a farmer. I'm just farmers that have had farms their whole life judge people like me that are petting zoo farmers because they don't call me a farmer. I'm a wannabe farmer. City girl done country. Does that mean a city girl can't be a farmer one day? No, no. So it's important to be mindful to understand there's farmers that don't deal with animals. There's farmers that do nothing but grow corn or cotton. There's farmers that grow nothing but potatoes. There's all different types of farmers, and they all go up under an umbrella called a farmer. So it's when I'm getting beat up, it's because these people have been in farms their whole entire life, and they don't consider a petting zoo a farm. So It doesn't bother me that I call myself a city girl. I do. But am I considered a farmer? Yes. I have 17 acres. I have animals. Just because I call a vet doesn't mean I'm not a farmer. I'm just not a farmer that raises cattle, or I'm not a poultry farm that raises chickens for eating. There's all different types of farmers, and we have to be mindful that people like to judge, and that's okay. They just don't know any better. But if they met me in person, they probably would still say I'm a city girl and I'm not a farmer, and that's okay. At the end of the day, people people may say that you're not a certain person. Maybe it's not a farmer, but they say you're not nice, or you gossip, or you exaggerate, or whatever they say about you. Your mental health, your whatever. They use a word for you. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what Shane told me. When someone calls you a certain name and puts you in a certain category, it is important for you to go look in the mirror and know who you are as a person. Because people are going to be on attack all the time. People are mean. That's why I hang out with animals. People are mean. People are judgmental. People are quick to say things because they don't know to pause. People will rip you a new one. That's why I hang out in the farm and have no friends. Okay? Honestly. But you have to understand who you are as a person, because I know in my head that when people start attacking me, I know in my head who I am, because I go look in the mirror and go, who are you? Are you not a farmer because Dexter eats out of your hand? Are you not a farmer because you're having your duck x-rayed? To a farm person, me having my duck x-rayed is the most stupid. That is wasted money, and it's stupid. Okay? It's stupid. But to me, I have a petting zoo. These animals are my best friends. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Chirps has the best life. If there's listen, if they told me Chirps is going to have surgery on her leg, y'all, I paid $400 for a duck to have her leg amputated. That wasn't even my duck. Okay? Quacky Jackie wasn't even my duck. And I paid $400 for her care. That is a petting zoo. It is, when you own a petting zoo, it is your responsibility. Even if your vet bill is $400 to amputate a duck, you're here to rescue. We're here to give these animals a quality of life as long as they can, because a farm person is not spending $400 on a duck. They're chopping their head off. They're not wasting $400 on a duck. I am a rescue. I am here to give this duck a quality. And look, Quacky Jackie has a quality of life. I'm able to use Quacky Jackie to teach kids not to discriminate against people with disabilities. Would a farm person that's doing cattle teach a kid that? No, because they're not an educational farm. They don't care about teaching a kid. They want to teach a kid to castrate the animal themselves and not have a vet bill. That's their goal. But just because my goal's different doesn't mean that I'm not a farmer. So today the vet's coming. I have the people coming at 9:00. NPIP will be here at 10:00. The vet will be here at 1:00. I don't know what time the nurse is coming, but we have a full day today. And that's why I'm so thankful for Kayla, because can you imagine me trying to do all this by myself? Can you imagine me trying to catch all the chickens while Larry's in here, like, not eating? Because if you don't fix food, last night he had a piece of pie for dinner. Not that I'm judging, because I would do the same thing. But In order for him to eat proper nutrition, it's going to have to be Kayla or myself going, here's a muffin. Would you like me to fix you a sandwich? No, I'll just eat chips for lunch. It's like someone's going to have to be here. It's getting to the point where he can't be left alone. And so my hands are getting full because how do you run a farm? And Larry used to have the responsibility of taking the dogs out. He loved to take the dogs out. Well, he no longer can take the dogs out. So I'm having to go back and forth to take the dogs out and do the farm. So thank God for Kayla is all I can say. God, I believe that God put her in my life for a reason. I really do. Did y'all learn something today? I want you, I'm going to say this real quick. We got a couple of minutes. This is more my mental health. When people beat you up and tell you you're not somebody, you're not a farmer, you're not worthy, you're crazy, all the things that people tell you, you know, a lot of times the person that's talking to you is you. You tell yourself, I'm fat. I don't even know why I'm on this earth. I have no purpose. I look terrible in these clothes. You tell yourself all kinds of things because you don't love yourself. I am guilty of every bit of this. I am. But, you have to be like, if I looked at Carolyn and I said, Carolyn, you have gotten so old. Your face is so wrinkled. You look terrible. You would be so offended by me saying that. But it's funny. You're not offended when you tell yourself that. When you look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, you are a train wreck, Judy. You are a train wreck. When you tell yourself that, you're not mad at yourself. But if I was to tell you that you're a complete train wreck and you look like a road map on your forehead, if someone said, Judy, you look like your forehead literally looks like a road map, you need to go get Botox. If Carolyn said that to me, I would be like, that is the most rudest thing I have ever in my life heard someone say. But though, Carolyn, you say it to yourself. You tell yourself you're not worthy, or you have wrinkles, or you're fat, or you're crazy, or all the things that you tell yourself. I don't know. You can't do it. You're too old to change. All these things that you lie to yourself and tell yourself. You're not gentle with yourself. And when you start going in your head, when you start telling yourself all these negative things, Judy, you have gained so much weight. I am struggling. I'm not going to lie. I am struggling with the whole eating, gaining weight, wanting to starve myself. I am on the struggle bus. I am not going to lie. And the reason is because I've been triggered by all this stress that's going on in my life. And when I get a lot of stress going on in my life, I go right back to my comfort zone of where I am. My comfort zone sounds crazy, but my comfort zone is to sit and worry about my weight and financial things. And when things get out of control, oh my gosh, NPIP, my house is flooded, my dad is dying, oh, blah, 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 all this, I go straight to my comfort zone. And my comfort zone is to sit and worry about my weight and financial things. I'm going to be homeless. You remember me telling y'all how my biggest fear is to be homeless? And my doctor said to me, Judy, how much money do you need in the bank where you don't feel like you're homeless? And I told her, and I met that goal. And guess what? I still worry about being homeless. So I realized that my homelessness has nothing to do with financial things, because I have that amount in my bank right now, but I still feel like I'm going to be homeless. So that PTSD is still here. And when things get stressful, I go back to the comfort zone of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to lose my farm. Oh my gosh, no one's booking tours. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. I'm not going to be able to pay. I'm going to have to get leader. I go into psycho land. And a lot of times when we have a lot of stress on us, we do that. We go back to where we spin out of control in our comfort zone, because sometimes worrying and being stressed is comfort to us. When you start doing that to yourself, is the moment you, first of all, you have to recognize it, because sometimes I don't recognize it. And I'm like, oh, Lord. But when I recognize it, I'm like, okay, Judy, let's stick with the facts. What are the facts about you being homeless? What are the facts about you being a fat butt? Can you fit in your jeans? Yes, but they're a little tight. Okay, well, if they're a little tight, then you might need to cut back on the peanut butter pie and the cupcakes. Okay, because it is a fact that my blue jeans are getting too tight because I have gained weight. So that is reality to me. So that is a fact that my blue jeans are getting too tight. Does that mean I need to go to the extreme of starving myself and get myself skinny again? Like skinny, 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 skinny? No. So I can't go to the extreme. So maybe instead of going on this serious diet that sends me in la la land, I just need to cut back on the peanut butter pie and the cupcakes so that I can fit back into my jeans comfortably. Okay, with the homelessness, what are my facts? My facts are I'm not going to be homeless. I'm never going to be homeless. I have too much family that love me. I'm not going to be homeless. So when I go into la la land and start fearing that I'm going to have to get rid of my farm and I can't afford it, I have to go, okay, what is this? What is this fear? And the fear is I'm watching my dad die right in front of my eyes. And I'm going to the comfort zone of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be homeless because my dad, this is the last, like as a kid, you always have mom and dad, right? You always have mom and dad. Like if you don't have any money, your mom and dad are going to give you $25 to put in your gas tank. Like at the end of the day, when your mom and dad are alive, you know, okay, well, if Shane leaves me, I know I can go live with my mom. But when mama and daddy die, you don't have that comfort of going, okay, mama's there. Mama's not there anymore. Your mama's not putting $25 in your gas tank. If Shane leaves me, I don't, mama doesn't have a house. Mom's in heaven. So like the comfort zone of mom and dad being there is gone. Well, I have two step parents. So even though my real parents are gone, I still have my dad, my stepdad. Well, what happens when he's gone? There's no $25 to put in my tank if I don't have gas money. Like he would give me $25 to put in my gas. He's not letting me go without because he loves me unconditionally. I don't really see my stepmom a lot, so I don't have that bond with her like I do Larry. But like Larry's going away. Larry's going away just like my mom and dad. So what is it doing to me mentally? It's sending me to outer space. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I don't have the same comfort with Shane. And I don't know why. It's me. It's not anything that Shane's done. But like Shane would give me $25 if I didn't have $25 to put in my tank. But for some reason, it's different when it's like, you know, your parents have your back no matter what. Like, even if you fail and make stupid mistakes, your parents are going to be there for you. Your spouse, I feel like they're not blood. You know how blood's thicker than water? Like, your blood's got you back, usually, right? Even though Your relationship with your blood may be a train wreck. At the end of the day, if I called my brother that is a train wreck and said, hey, I don't have food, will you help me? My brother, even though he hasn't spoke to me in 7 years, my brother would give me a meal. Not that Shane wouldn't, but it's something in my head. It's not something that Shane has done. I just have comfort with my parents. So like that's going away. So my fear of being homeless is in high gear. It is it is ramped up. And even though I have to check the facts multiple times a day, I have to go, okay, what are the facts? Okay, am I going to be homeless? No. Okay, then why are you worrying about it? And I have to remember where the fear is coming from. And the fear is coming from losing my dad. But I have to go, what is the reality? The reality is I'm not going to be homeless. Shane would never let me be homeless. But the fear, the PTSD that you have from childhood, from your parents divorcing, grandparents dying, all those things, parents dying young, that PTSD is still firing, even though I'm almost 53 years old. It's still there. PTSD never goes away, but you have to learn how to deal with it. And you have to know where, when you get triggered and you go back to, oh my God, I'm going to be homeless, I have to start laughing at myself. And I've told you guys this before. I have to go, Judy, if you became homeless, I swear you would be head of the homeless people. You would be fundraising, trying to figure out how to get everyone blankets and a pillow. Like I have to laugh at myself. And I'm like, okay, if I'm homeless, I swear I would start an exercise class. I can see myself going, y'all, we need to be warm. It's the winter's coming, so come on. I've taught aerobics for 28 years. We can do exercises. I can get us in shape so that we last through the winter. Like I can so see myself doing that. So I go there to that crazy place because I'm like, if I ever became homeless, I can do this. I can do this. Even though I'm homeless, I can find food. I'm a survivor. So like I start laughing at myself with my fears because my fears are not reality. But you can't convince me when I'm in that fear moment. You can't convince me that I'm not going to be homeless one day. That is how bad PTSD affects us. But you have got to stop and figure out where it's coming from. The fear is coming from Larry. That is where it's coming from. And I have to stop and pause and go, what are the facts? Why are you fearing this? Why are you fearing your husband's going to leave you? Or why are you fearing that you're not going to have groceries or you're not going to be able to pay your power bill? Where is the fear coming from? And once you are able to pinpoint where the fear is coming from, you're able to overcome that PTSD of being homeless or whatever you're fearing. Because we all fear something. And when chaos is going on, we go right back to where we are spinning out of control. I hope that I said something today that helps you guys. I didn't use my preaching stick today. I hope that whatever you fear, I hope that you'll face it head on and figure out where it's coming from. And it takes a minute to figure out where it's coming from because I didn't realize at first that the fear was coming from Larry, but it is. I feel scared. I feel scared of losing him. And and it makes me be more sensitive to the crazy things that he does with having dementia. It makes me be more mindful that there's things that he does that he can't help. And at the end of the day, I would give up my whole farm for him if I had to. I really would. Because he has been so precious to me my whole entire life. And there's not very many step parents. There's not very many step parents that you can say that would treat you the way Larry treats me. And I'll tell you, as a stepmother myself, I've always had good step parents. And I can honestly say that there's people, the wicked stepmother, you heard about Cinderella and the wicked stepmother. Um, I can honestly say that as a stepmother myself, I do the very best that I can do. And I believe that my stepson that I raised from the time he was 3 years old, I believe that he would let me move in with him in a heartbeat and take care of me. I do. I have it's my ex-husband's son, but I talk to him every single week to this day, and he will be 26 this year. He's my kid. So I've had if you're a step parent, um, you'd be surprised at the influence that you can make on a kid's life, even though you're not the parent. Because Larry sure has made that in my life. I love you guys. I'm fixed to put on my roller skates today. Will be the shoes that I'm wearing today is my roller skates, because I will be skating to my farm, trying to hurry and trying to get things done. Pray that my NPIP goes well today. I'm sure it will. I'm not really worried too much about it. But I love you guys, and I hope that I said something today that you can stick with. Don't let fears and PTSD run your life. Check yourself. Check your facts. Pause. Don't let your mind spin out of control. You have choices today. It's Monday. You can start your week off right by dancing, or you can sit it out. And today, I hope you dance. I will see y'all Wednesday. I'll let you know what the vet says, though. I might try to go live this afternoon. I may be too tired, but I'll try to go live this afternoon to let y'all know what the vet says about Shishi, if Shishi's pregnant, and what he thinks about Dee Dee, and what he thinks about Chirps. And Fluffy May's getting her staples out today. It's been 2 weeks. Yesterday, I was able to put all 3 rabbits together, and it was fantastic. If my neighbors would keep their dogs up, I had to go I couldn't free range the rabbits for about 2 hours, and that's about it, because I have to worry about dogs. But hopefully when we get this education center up and going, I will never have to worry about that again. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.